In the shimmering void beyond the Orion cluster, aboard the sleek diplomatic cruiser Eternity, Ambassador Aidan Drake stood as the embodiment of human resolve. The ship's corridors, bathed in soft neon glows and punctuated by the quiet hum of advanced engines, carried the promise of interstellar peace. Today, humanity had placed its faith in the art of diplomacy, extending an olive branch toward the enigmatic Elysian dominion. Yet, fate's course was rarely as gentle as hope. Aidan's day had begun with meticulous preparations, briefings, delicate negotiations, and the silent prayers of a people whose future depended on his words. As he surveyed the distant stars from the observation deck, his mind raced over the possible outcomes. The plan was simple: secure a treaty to ensure humanity's safety and prosperity in the cosmic arena. But as if conjured by the universe's darker whims, the ship's calm was shattered by an urgent crackle over his comlink. "Ambassador, sensors have picked up an unidentified vessel on an intercept course," reported Lieutenant Mira, her voice a calm counterpoint to the mounting tension. "Hostile energy signatures detected. We're under attack." Before Aidan could respond, the main view screen exploded with the image of an obsidian craft, its surface alive with pulsating glyphs that radiated an eerie luminescence. Beams of searing energy tore through the Eternity's hull like hot knives through silk, igniting alarms and chaos in the once orderly corridors. "Lock down all stations," Aidan barked, his tone steady, concealing the storm of adrenaline swirling within him. Rushing to the command deck, Aidan found Captain Reyes and a cadre of officers scrambling to stabilize the vessel. The captain's eyes, filled with a mix of determination and concern, met Aidan's as he declared, "Sir, we're losing shield integrity. The attack is deliberate. We have mere moments before critical systems fail." The reality was brutal. This was not an accident of cosmic debris, but a targeted strike orchestrated with precision. As the cruiser shuddered under successive blows, the corridors became a labyrinth of flickering lights and cascading sparks. Aidan, ducking behind a reinforced bulkhead, felt the impact of plasma bolts as they scorched the metal around him. His pulse hammered in his ears, yet his face remained a mask of calm defiance. Even as the ship's infrastructure groaned under the strain, he clung to the belief that humanity's spirit was unbreakable. Then, the doors of the corridor exploded inward. Figures clad in shimmering, iridescent armor strode forth, emissaries of the Elysian dominion. Their leader, a statuesque being with eyes like molten silver and a voice imbued with otherworldly authority, spoke with a measured cadence. "Ambassador Drake, you are to come with us. Resistance is futile." There was no malice in the tone, only the cold precision of an ancient regime enforcing its will. Aidan's lips curved into a slight, ironic smile, a silent challenge amid the chaos. "I suppose fate has a peculiar sense of humor," he replied quietly, his voice steady despite the pandemonium. The alien envoy's grip was as firm as it was unyielding when he seized Aidan's arm. Around them, the frenetic energy of battle collided with the eerie calm of calculated inevitability. The ship trembled violently, and the ambient glow of the observation deck dimmed as emergency power flickered. Captain Reyes's voice echoed through the intercom, "Evacuate the diplomatic bay immediately!" Yet, even as Aidan moved toward the exit, the alien force intercepted him. In a brief struggle, a clash of wills as much as bodies, Aidan's resistance was met with the inscrutable determination of his captors. "Release me, or you'll awaken a storm you cannot quell," Aidan warned, his words laced with an unspoken promise of retribution. The alien, his expression unreadable beneath the polished visor of his helmet, merely tilted his head. In that charged moment, amidst the acrid smell of burning circuits and the sound of distant explosions, the seeds of an interstellar reckoning were sown. Dragged away into the dim corridors of the cruiser, Aidan's mind raced with thoughts of the fragile trust he had hoped to build, a trust now shattered by betrayal and conflict. His capture was not an end, but the first act in a grander design. It was a pivot around which the fate of worlds would soon revolve. Even as chaos reigned around him, the ambassador clung to one immutable truth. In the face of annihilation, humanity's unyielding spirit was its sharpest weapon. Dragged through twisting, luminescent corridors, Ambassador Aidan Drake found himself in a realm where the laws of physics and art intertwined. The corridor's walls pulsed with shifting holographic glyphs that whispered secrets in a language older than time, echoing off surfaces that seemed to breathe. Every step toward his fate resonated with the quiet hum of alien technology, a sound that filled him with both dread and an unyielding resolve. At the heart of this strange vessel lay the Tribunal Chamber, an immense, domed hall where the very architecture defied human understanding. Here, colossal pillars of crystalline substance soared upward, entwined with streams of iridescent light. Floating platforms and delicate arcs of energy formed an intricate lattice that supported the seat of justice for the Elysian Dominion. The chamber exuded an aura of solemnity and menace, as if the very walls bore witness to countless cosmic judgments. Upon a raised dais at the center of the hall sat the alien tribunal. The judges, an assembly of beings whose forms were a mesmerizing blend of fluid energy and translucent matter, moved with a grace that belied their formidable authority. Their faces, if they could be called that, shifted continuously between expressions, enigmatic, inscrutable, and imbued with an ancient wisdom. At the helm of the panel, a singular figure radiated an imposing presence. The chief judge, whose visage was an ever-changing mosaic of light and shadow, crowned by a halo of pulsating cosmic energy. In a voice that reverberated like the resonant toll of distant supernovae, the chief judge began, "Ambassador Drake, you stand accused of trespassing upon the sacred boundaries of our dominion, of inciting discord that has threatened the cosmic equilibrium. Your very presence here disrupts the ancient order we have so meticulously preserved." Each word seemed to ripple through the air, carrying with it a weight of authority that Aidan had never before encountered. Aidan's eyes, alert and defiant, scanned the tribunal. He noted the subtle, almost imperceptible shifts in the judges' forms, as if they were debating in silence through telepathic communion. Despite the surreal terror of his surroundings, a spark of indomitable human resolve burned within him. "I have not come as an aggressor," he replied, his voice steady, imbued with a calm that contrasted sharply with the charged atmosphere. "My mission was one of peace, an effort to bridge our worlds and foster mutual understanding. If my actions have upset your order, let it be known that I stand for humanity's eternal drive toward progress and unity." A hushed murmur seemed to ripple across the tribunal's ranks, a silent, collective deliberation. The chief judge's ever-shifting form flickered with what might have been emotion, a mixture of incredulity, ancient pride, and something else, something almost akin to curiosity. "Your words echo with the fervor of your people," the judge intoned slowly, each syllable a measured probe into Aidan's soul. "Yet sentimentality does not absolve transgression. Your actions have reverberated through the tapestry of our laws, casting shadows upon the order of the cosmos." As the tribunal's silent, ethereal deliberations continued, holographic projections burst into view around Aidan, intricate maps of star systems, ancient cosmic edicts, and scenes of celestial events that charted the history of the Elysian Dominion. These images narrated tales of civilizations rising and falling, of orders maintained through centuries of immutable tradition, and now of a singular human defiance that threatened to rewrite the annals of cosmic law. Aidan's mind raced, balancing on the knife edge between fear and fierce determination. Every fiber of his being resonated with the weight of this trial. In that suspended moment, the ambassador recognized that he was not merely a captive, but the living embodiment of humanity's restless spirit, a spark that had ignited revolutions against tyranny since time immemorial. "Judge," he said, his tone resonating with both earnestness and an undercurrent of defiant humor, "if the essence of humanity is to challenge the impossible, then know that I accept your judgment not as a capitulation, but as an invitation to prove that hope and unity can surmount even the most ancient edicts." His words, delivered with a quiet intensity, cut through the thick silence that had enveloped the chamber. For a heartbeat, time itself seemed to hold its breath. The tribunal's energy shifted subtly. as if grappling with the unexpected resolve of a single human spirit. In that charged pause, the alien judges communicated in silence, an exchange of cosmic empathy and rigid tradition. The atmosphere trembled with the potential for revolution, a silent promise that the cosmic balance might be forever altered by one man's unyielding defiance. And so, beneath the gaze of ageless sentinels and in the heart of an alien court steeped in both science and mysticism, Ambassador Aidan Drake faced his destiny, a destiny not defined by fear, but by the relentless, defiant hope of humanity itself. The tribunal chamber, still shimmering with its ethereal luminescence and cryptic holograms, reached an almost unbearable tension. In that timeless space where cosmic law and ancient tradition intertwined, the chief judge's voice resonated through the chamber like the toll of a distant, mournful bell. Ambassador Drake, your fate is sealed by the immutable edicts of our dominion, intoned the judge, each word weighted with centuries of unyielding doctrine. For a heartbeat, silence blanketed the room, a pregnant pause filled with the unspoken gravity of impending doom. All eyes, if they could be called that, fixated on the lone human figure standing resolute before the assembly. In that precise moment, when the scales of justice were poised to deliver a death sentence that would forever extinguish one spark of humanity, Ambassador Aidan Drake did the unthinkable. A low, mirthful chuckle escaped his lips, a sound so incongruous with the dread surrounding him that it reverberated like a clarion call of defiance. Slowly, as if in slow motion, his laughter swelled into a rich, hearty guffaw that echoed off the crystalline walls and sent ripples through the floating energy arcs. The sound was at once both human and transcendent, an expression of irreverent hope and unyielding spirit. Laugh? The chief judge's voice wavered, a note of incredulity piercing the formal cadence. The tribunal's fluid forms seemed to stutter in their motion, their luminous expressions flickering with confusion. One of the secondary judges, its form a shifting swirl of light and shadow, leaned forward, if such an action could be said for a being of pure energy, and hissed in a language not meant for human ears. Aidan's laughter continued unabated, echoing like a defiant heartbeat against the ancient edicts of the Elysian Dominion. I laugh because your verdict is as archaic as it is absolute, he said between bursts of mirth, his voice ringing with both scorn and a steely promise. His eyes, alight with an inner fire, met the gaze of the chief judge, challenging the very foundation of their authority. The tribunal's murmur transformed into a dissonant symphony of alarm and disbelief. The alien judge's countenance, a mosaic of ever-shifting patterns, wavered between stern judgment and a dawning uncertainty. How dare you mock the sacred process, boomed another judge, its tone crackling with the tension of 1,000 unwritten laws. Your levity undermines the order we have safeguarded for eons. But Aidan's laughter was no mere act of defiance. It was a proclamation of humanity's indomitable spirit. In that moment, every fiber of his being exuded a resolute confidence, a reminder that even in the face of certain death, the human soul could ignite revolutions and shatter ancient paradigms. His laughter was layered, a blend of bitter irony, unbridled joy, and the deep-seated belief that true power lay not in the cold rigor of outdated edicts, but in the collective will to challenge and overcome. Between his bouts of laughter, Aidan spoke softly, almost conversationally. I have faced storms and darkness before, and each time we emerged stronger. Do you think a single laugh can defy your laws? No, it's not the laugh itself. It's the promise behind it. The promise that hope, unity, and the will to survive will always outlast tyranny. His words, simple yet profound, cut through the oppressive silence, drawing a collective gasp from the gathered beings. In that charged exchange, the tribunal's energy seemed to waver, the carefully maintained veneer of cosmic order beginning to crack. The alien judges exchanged glances that shimmered with a mix of perplexity and the first seeds of fear, for they had never encountered a being who could transform a sentence of death into a beacon of defiance. The ripple of his laughter reached into every corner of the chamber, resonating with the unspoken tales of human resilience and the relentless pursuit of freedom. a young aide among the Tribunal's ranks, a being whose form was less defined and more curious than the rest, whispered to a companion in halting, broken tones that resonated with awe and disbelief. "He laughs as if he knows something we do not." The comment, though murmured in an alien tongue, carried a tremor of revelation. Perhaps this human was not a victim of circumstance, but the herald of a greater destiny, one where the bonds of unity could challenge the rigid hierarchies of the cosmos. As the laughter subsided into a defiant calm, the Tribunal was left suspended between fury and fascination. In that charged silence, Aidan Drake's act of rebellion transcended mere mockery. It became a catalyst, a spark poised to kindle an inferno of resistance that could upend the ancient order. The laughter had not merely defied fate, it had announced that the human spirit was a force that no edict, no matter how ancient or unyielding, could ever fully control. In the waning echoes of his laughter, the ambassador's eyes shone with the fierce promise of a people united. Every moment that passed was a testament to humanity's enduring resolve, a single irreverent laugh that dared to rewrite the destiny of worlds. In the charged aftermath of the Tribunal's upheaval, as the alien assembly struggled to reconcile the meaning behind Aidan Drake's laughter, a secret tremor began to ripple through the cosmos, a tremor that few in the Elysian Dominion could ignore. Far from the sterile corridors of the alien court, in the hidden depths of human space, signals blazed with a purpose that defied the calm veneer of diplomacy. Aboard the stealth frigate Aurora's Vigil, nestled deep within an uncharted nebula, Admiral Serena Cole surveyed a sprawling digital map of hyperspace. Flickering nodes and interstellar routes marked the clandestine positions of human fleets, quietly converging on the epicenter of what would soon be an all-out cosmic intervention. The command center was a symphony of light and sound. Officers in crisp uniforms, their eyes alert behind reflective visors, manned stations that pulsed with encrypted data streams, and holographic star maps that danced with imminent trajectories. "Admiral," intoned Lieutenant Reyes, his voice low yet resonant with determination, "we've intercepted multiple transmissions. There's chatter, murmurs of unrest and disbelief among the Dominion's ranks. They're beginning to realize that the laughter in that courtroom was not mere bravado, but the spark of a calculated resistance." Serena's eyes narrowed as she studied the cascading data. That laugh was a challenge, a beacon to every human out there. "They believed the myth of our hidden fleet, a myth we've nurtured in silence for years," she replied, her tone a blend of pride and steely resolve. "We mobilize now, not just to save a single diplomat, but to show that humanity stands united against any tyranny, however ancient or inscrutable." The holographic map pulsed as countless star systems lit up with the silent advance of battle fleets. Among them, echoes of covert alliances emerged, secret pacts forged in the darkest hours of past conflicts, where humanity had stood defiant against overwhelming odds. In quiet council chambers on distant colonies, former soldiers, renegade scientists, and intrepid diplomats had rallied under a single creed, the unbreakable bond of human unity. Their whispered recollections of past glories and hardships melded into a single, unyielding purpose: revenge against those who dared subjugate the human spirit. Across the cosmic void in the alien Dominion's command hub, alarmed administrators exchanged hurried words in their fluid, ever-shifting language. "The ambassador's laughter has become a rallying cry," one reported, its voice tremulous with both awe and dread. "Our records show that the human fleets have been mobilized for decades, concealed behind layers of subterfuge and secrecy. They now advance under a banner of retribution." Another judge, its form flickering with incredulity, added, "This is not an isolated incident. It is a declaration of war cloaked in humor." Back on Aurora's Vigil, Admiral Cole leaned forward, her fingers dancing over the console as she initiated final protocols. "Inform all fleet commanders," she ordered, her voice resolute. "This is our moment. The laughter we heard today is the sound of a people refusing to be broken. We strike not to annihilate, but to reclaim the honor and freedom that was once theirs, and will be again." In a terse exchange with her second-in-command, she confirmed the final coordinates for the rendezvous point, a secret sector at the edge of known space where the human armada would coalesce for the coming storm. Amid the steady hum of engines and the quiet beeping of alert systems, personal reflections flickered through the minds of those on board. Stories of long-forgotten battles, whispered promises made in the wake of despair, and the fierce memories of sacrifices past formed the silent undercurrent of every heart. A young ensign, eyes wide with a mixture of fear and exhilaration, recalled the tales passed down from veteran star pilots, a legacy of defiance that had always turned the tide in humanity's favor. Elsewhere, deep within the command nexus of the Elysian Dominion, uncertainty reigned. The ancient Tribunal's decree, once a symbol of unchallengeable authority, now echoed with the paradox of human unpredictability. The alien leaders convened in urgent session, their voices a discordant symphony of confusion and strategic recalibration. They had encountered many adversaries before, but none who met the cosmic order with such irreverence, a single laugh that belied the full might of a hidden armada. In the interstices of conflict and silence, alliances old and new were reawakened, uniting disparate factions under the common cause of defending their shared future. The stage was set for a collision of destinies, a reckoning that would either cement the ancient order or shatter it entirely. The echoes of that fateful laugh now vibrated across the stars, a harbinger of the approaching storm that promised to redefine the very fabric of cosmic power. With the human fleet surging forward like a tidal wave of resolve and retribution, every transmission, every coded message, carried the pulse of a civilization unbowed. The laughter that had once filled an alien courtroom now transformed into the clarion call of an interstellar rebellion, a promise that in the vast theater of the universe, humanity would always rise again. In the silent void between stars, far from the looming threat of the Elysian Dominion, the hidden armada began its secret assembly. Within the sprawling command center of the flagship Aurora's Vigil, Admiral Serena Cole surveyed the converging lines of warships on a holographic star map. Each vessel, sleek, formidable, and bristling with advanced weaponry, represented decades of covert planning and the indomitable spirit of humanity. The room buzzed with calculated energy. Officers in crisply tailored uniforms maneuvered among flickering consoles, their eyes fixed on projections of hyperspace routes and encrypted coordinates. The holographic display pulsed with streams of data as fleets from distant star systems converged upon a predetermined rendezvous point in an uncharted sector of the galaxy. The secret sector, hidden behind a veil of cosmic anomalies, was now the stage for humanity's long-anticipated reckoning. "Coordinates confirmed," intoned Lieutenant Navarro, his fingers dancing over the console. "Alpha Fleet is on course. They'll reach the rendezvous in less than 12 hours. His voice was steady, but there was an undercurrent of exhilaration that belied the gravity of the impending confrontation. Admiral Cole's gaze never wavered from the map as she issued crisp orders. "Ensure all communication channels are encrypted. We cannot risk any leaks. This fleet is our lifeline and our declaration of defiance." Her words resonated with the unyielding determination of a leader who had long carried the burden of both hope and responsibility. "Every ship, from our light interceptors to the heavy dreadnoughts, must be ready to execute coordinated maneuvers at my command. Today, we show the universe that humanity stands united." Outside the command center, in the vast silence of space, an array of warships glided gracefully against the backdrop of nebulae and distant galaxies. The fleet was an awe-inspiring sight. Colossal cruisers with armor that shimmered like liquid metal, agile frigates darting between debris fields, and battle stations that looked more like fortresses than spacecraft. Their silhouettes converged toward the secret rendezvous point, each vessel a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of a species that had risen from countless struggles. Aboard the bridge of the cruiser Resolute, Commander Lee addressed her crew with measured urgency. "Maintain formation. Remember, we are not just fighting for survival. We are reclaiming our honor. Every maneuver we make Every second we hold builds toward a future where tyranny is but a relic of the past." The crew responded with determined nods and murmurs of agreement, their eyes reflecting the shared burden and hope of generations. Meanwhile, deep within the propulsion bay of the flagship, engineers worked with precise intensity, recalibrating the quantum drive systems to ensure that every ship in the fleet could travel at unprecedented speeds. Sparks flew as futuristic tools met advanced alloy panels, each adjustment a vital component in a complex symphony of technology and resolve. One technician, barely out of training but burning with fierce pride, whispered to a colleague, "Today, we don't just move through space, we rewrite destiny." Back in the command center, a series of updates flowed in. "Beta fleet is aligned," reported an officer from the tactical station. "All systems nominal. We're ready to break through any blockade." The steady stream of information painted a picture of meticulous preparation and unparalleled unity. Every update, every coordinate verified, solidified the collective will of a people who had long been underestimated. Admiral Cole allowed herself a brief, resolute smile as she absorbed the progress. This was not a mere assembly of warships. It was the culmination of decades of clandestine diplomacy, technological evolution, and the steadfast belief that humanity's future would not be dictated by the whims of ancient alien courts. "Prepare for final approach," she commanded, her voice echoing over every channel. "In one motion, let our unity and resolve light up the cosmos. Today, we reclaim our place among the stars." In that decisive moment, as the fleet surged toward its destiny like a tidal wave of brilliance and determination, the gathering of these magnificent vessels became a symbol of humanity's unbreakable spirit. The coming clash would not just be a confrontation of fire and steel, but the fulfillment of a promise that, in the darkest hours, human ingenuity and courage could illuminate even the furthest reaches of space. Under the flickering luminescence of a chamber carved from living crystal, a place where alien tradition met the pulse of advanced technology, Ambassador Aidan Drake found himself not in a cell of despair, but seated across from the enigmatic negotiator, Seravan. The room vibrated with a quiet energy as bioluminescent hues of indigo and violet danced along the curved walls, their shifting patterns echoing ancient rites. Here, amid floating panels of holographic star maps and spectral symbols of authority, diplomacy became the new battlefield. Seravan's voice, smooth and measured as if shaped by millennia of cosmic governance, broke the silence. "Ambassador Drake, your defiant laughter has ignited more than mere curiosity. It has threatened the very foundations of our dominion. You stand accused of undermining the cosmic order. Explain your actions and propose a path to restore equilibrium." Aidan's eyes shone with a resolute calm as he replied, "I stand before you not as an agent of chaos, but as a representative of a people who have endured millennia of suppression. My laughter was not mockery for its own sake. It was the sound of a people reclaiming their dignity. We do not seek to dismantle your order. We wish to redefine it, forging a new understanding where our species may coexist as equals." A low, undulating murmur rippled among the surrounding emissaries, their forms shifting with uncertainty. One delegate, its voice a soft cascade of tonal vibrations, inquired, "And what of your fleet? The records now confirm a massing of human vessels at our borders. Is this not an act of aggression?" Aidan leaned forward, his tone both deliberate and impassioned. "The fleet's approach is a demonstration of resolve rather than a prelude to violence. It is a signal, a safeguard against those who would attempt to subjugate a free people. We propose an immediate ceasefire, a withdrawal to a neutral sector where both sides can engage in earnest dialogue. Let this moment serve as the foundation for a joint council, where representatives from our peoples address past grievances and chart a cooperative future." Outside the chamber's translucent walls, the distant glimmer of countless warships reminded all present that time was a luxury quickly evaporating. The weight of impending retribution pressed upon the negotiators as Seravan paused, his luminous eyes narrowing with cautious appraisal. "Your words are as audacious as they are hopeful. Yet, centuries of our traditions command certainty. Certainty we no longer hold when faced with a united human resolve. What assurances do you offer that this is not a gambit to exploit weakness? Aiden's response was measured, his calm belying the storm raging beyond the secure confines of the negotiation chamber. Assurances are best measured in actions. We offer our commitment not with empty promises, but by placing our future in your hands. Let us negotiate a pact that transforms hostility into partnership. The alliance we propose is not built on fear, but on the mutual recognition that neither species benefits from endless strife. Trust must be nurtured, and it begins now. The air in the chamber thickened with tension as data streams flashed silently along alien consoles. A subordinate emissary, its voice soft yet laden with urgency, reported, "Sensors detect a surge in energy from the outer perimeter. Your fleet's mass is undeniable. The balance is shifting." Saravan's composed exterior momentarily faltered, and he allowed himself a brief look of confliction before continuing. "Your fleet's presence indeed complicates our position. However, it also presents an opportunity. The High Council must now re-examine the rigidity of our ancient edicts. Your proposal, a mutual withdrawal and the formation of a joint council, demands a re-evaluation of what constitutes order and justice." Aiden's eyes flickered with determination. Every great civilization has faced crossroads where tradition met innovation. Today we stand at one such juncture. Let us forge an accord that honors our histories, yet embraces the promise of a united cosmos. In every culture, the capacity for change is the wellspring of hope. Our proposal is an invitation to evolve, rather than to cling to obsolete dogmas. The exchange rippled with both the cadence of cautious optimism and the stern reality of impending conflict. Saravan's countenance shifted slowly, the luminescent patterns on his skin wavering as he absorbed the human diplomat's unwavering conviction. "I will present these terms to the High Council," he finally stated. "Know that your words have sown a seed of transformation within our ranks. The path ahead is uncertain, and our decision may very well redefine the cosmic order. But for now, let us set aside the instruments of war and allow negotiation to be the herald of a new era." In that charged silence, as the echoes of human determination mingled with the ancient rhythms of alien tradition, the negotiation table transformed into a crucible of possibility. Beyond the sealed windows, the advancing human fleet glowed like a promise in the void, a reminder that even in the shadow of imminent retribution, there existed the potential for redemption and unity. Thus, amid the converging forces of retribution and hope, Ambassador Aiden Drake and the alien emissaries embarked on a dialogue that would either avert an all-out cosmic war or usher in a transformative era, one where the fusion of ancient wisdom and modern defiance might finally write a new chapter in the annals of interstellar history. The negotiation chamber's serene tension was shattered by the distant roar of engines and the blinding flash of energy weapons. Far beyond the ornate confines of the Elysian Tribunal, the human fleet burst forth from hyperspace like a tidal wave of incandescent defiance. The flagship, Aurora's Vigil, led the formation, a colossal vessel radiating determination and bristling with advanced weaponry. Every ship in the fleet, from nimble interceptors to gargantuan dreadnoughts, surged forward in a carefully choreographed assault that had been decades in the making. Over encrypted channels crackling with urgency, Admiral Serena Cole's commanding voice cut through the static. "All units, this is the moment of reckoning. Engage Formation Delta and brace for impact. Let every alien outpost and warship know that humanity stands united, unyielding, and ready to reclaim our destiny." Her words resonated across the void, igniting a collective roar of resolve that echoed in every corner of human space. In the vast theater of battle, alien dreadnoughts scrambled to form a defensive phalanx. Their smooth, reflective hulls, once symbols of an invincible order, now shuddered under the barrage of human firepower. Ion cannons and plasma turrets erupted in furious arcs, sending torrents of energy toward the encroaching armada. Yet every beam and missile was met with calculated precision. Human tactics, owned in secrecy and sacrifice, outmaneuvered the Dominion's archaic stratagems. Fleets wove intricate patterns through cosmic debris, executing evasive maneuvers that left the enemy disoriented and exposed. Aboard a lithe interceptor, Captain Lee's steady gaze remained locked on her displays as she issued rapid-fire commands. "Hold your formation, target their command vessel, we take it down and the rest will fall." Her voice, clear and resolute, was the linchpin of a battle where every second carried the weight of millennia of suppressed rebellion. Crew members responded as one, their synchronized actions transforming the chaos of space into a ballet of calculated destruction. Explosions blossomed like supernovae, scattering fragments of alien armor across the void. In one breathtaking moment, a human warship, cloaked in shimmering light, locked onto a Dominion dreadnought rumored to be the linchpin of the alien fleet's ancient power. Missiles streaked forward in brilliant arcs as energy pulses pummeled the target, reducing it to a brilliant, fading ember against the starry backdrop. A transmission crackled through the intercom. "For every life oppressed, for every hope dimmed, today justice roars across the cosmos." Back inside the tribunal chamber, the alien emissaries watched the unfolding spectacle with growing horror. The chief judge's once imperious, shifting visage faltered as reports of the human fleet's devastation reverberated through the chamber's crystalline walls. "Ambassador Drake," the judge intoned, his voice quivering with disbelief and mounting dread, "you have forsaken negotiation. Your fleet, your war, is a declaration of defiance against our ancient order." From a secure observation platform within the chamber, Aiden Drake's calm gaze met the judge's with quiet conviction. "The Dominion's order is a relic, a shackle for a people destined to rise," he replied, his tone measured but laden with the weight of history. "Today, we reclaim not only our freedom, but our right to redefine what justice means in a universe that has long turned its back on hope." The battlefield outside surged with tumultuous energy. Alien warships, once symbols of invincibility, faltered under the relentless onslaught. Small fighter squadrons darted through the void, engaging enemy drones in rapid, acrobatic duels that showcased the ingenuity and raw courage of human pilots. Every explosion, every flash of energy was a testament to the spirit of a civilization that had spent generations in the shadows, waiting for the moment to ignite a revolution. In the midst of the cosmic maelstrom, the Dominion's command structure began to crumble. High-ranking alien officers exchanged frantic signals and whispered desperate counsel. Their strategies, forged in the fires of tradition, found no purchase against the evolving dynamic tactics of the human armada. As the human fleet pressed its advantage, even the Tribunal's stoic resolve wavered, the once implacable guardians of ancient law now forced to confront the undeniable surge of human resilience. In a final, dramatic crescendo, the flagship's main cannons roared as they unleashed a decisive volley toward the alien command vessel. The ensuing explosion lit up the darkness like a dying star, its shockwave rippling across the battlefield and heralding the collapse of the Dominion's defenses. Amid the chaotic brilliance, Aiden Drake's voice, soft, reflective, yet imbued with fierce hope, spoke through the comm system. "Let this reckoning mark the dawn of a new era, an era where the spirit of humanity, united and unbreakable, transforms despair into a future of endless possibility." In that moment, as shattered remnants of the Dominion's fleet drifted among the stars, the scales of cosmic power tipped irrevocably. The reckoning was complete, a definitive stand that echoed the enduring truth: no ancient order can hold back the tide of human unity and defiance. The silence that followed the cosmic reckoning was profound, a stillness that draped the void like a heavy curtain over the shattered remnants of an ancient regime. In the aftermath of the human fleet's decisive assault, the once unstoppable might of the Elysian Dominion now lay in ruins, its warships drifting like broken relics against the starry canvas. Amid this debris, the seeds of a new cosmic order began to germinate, nurtured by the indomitable human spirit. On the bridge of the flagship Aurora's vigil, Admiral Serena Cole surveyed the expanse with a mixture of relief and solemn purpose. The holographic map that once pulsed with enemy formations now displayed vast regions of reclaimed space. "This is not just a victory over tyranny," she declared, her voice resolute and echoing through the command center, "but the beginning of an era where justice is forged by unity and vision. We have shown the universe that humanity does not cower in the face of ancient dogmas, but instead rises to redefine them." Back on the once hallowed halls of the alien tribunal, a transformed atmosphere reigned. The crystalline walls that had witnessed the harsh edicts of old now shimmered with the soft hues of possibility. Ambassadors from both species gathered in a reassembled chamber, a meeting ground that had become neutral territory. Here, former adversaries, their features softened by the realization of mutual vulnerability, prepared to chart a course toward reconciliation. Ambassador Aidan Drake, now both the symbol of defiance and the harbinger of hope, stood before a mixed assembly of alien dignitaries and human emissaries. His presence was commanding, his smile calm yet determined. "Today we turn the page," he said, his voice steady as cosmic winds. "No longer will fear dictate the boundaries of our existence. Instead, we embrace a future where every voice, no matter how different, has a part in shaping the fate of our galaxy." His words, simple yet profound, reverberated through the chamber like the promise of a new dawn. In one corner, an alien judge, whose features had once been a mask of inscrutable authority, leaned forward, her luminous eyes reflecting both regret and hope. "Ambassador Drake," she intoned softly, "the events that have unfolded compel us to rethink the ancient edicts that once governed us. We have witnessed the power of unity and the unyielding strength of the human spirit. It is time to dismantle the structures of oppression and replace them with systems built on mutual respect and shared destiny." A ripple of cautious optimism spread through the gathering. Human and alien delegates began to exchange tentative greetings, their dialogues a mixture of measured curiosity and sincere aspiration. In a quiet corridor outside the chamber, Lieutenant Navarro from Aurora's Vigil confided to a human liaison, "This is more than just retribution. We're witnessing the birth of a partnership, a reformation that will echo through the cosmos for generations." The liaison nodded, her eyes reflecting the gravity of the moment and the promise of a future unburdened by the weight of old conflicts. Across multiple star systems, the news of this unprecedented accord began to ripple outward. Former battlefronts gave way to reconstruction zones, and the scars of war became the foundation upon which new alliances were built. Formerly segregated fleets now found common purpose in joint exploratory missions and shared technological advancements. Trade routes, once forbidden, were reopened, and cultural exchanges flourished, a testament to the transformative power of reconciliation. In a solemn ceremony aboard the Aurora's Vigil, Admiral Cole and Ambassador Drake, flanked by representatives of both civilizations, raised a symbolic artifact, a crystalline shard infused with the energy of their combined histories, to the cosmos. "Let this be our covenant," Drake proclaimed, his voice resonating with the collective heartbeat of a united people. "That from the ashes of conflict a new order will arise, one not built on dominion and fear, but on the principles of freedom, unity, and the relentless pursuit of progress." As the gathering drew to a close, a renewed sense of purpose filled every heart. The once divided worlds of the Elysian Dominion and humanity were now on the precipice of transformation. The Tribunal, which had once enforced a rigid and ancient hierarchy, evolved into a council of equals, a living symbol of the endless possibilities when differences are set aside in favor of a shared future. In that moment of collective rebirth, the cosmos itself seemed to exhale a long-held breath. The era of subjugation was over, replaced by the luminous promise of a reformed galactic order. And as humanity's laughter had once echoed defiantly in the face of death, now it rang out with hope, a hopeful cadence that would forever remind the universe. In the dance of stars and destinies, unity and courage are the true architects of a new cosmic era.